I'm going to start with showing you how to do sunflower granny square, and then I'll go into the next part in this series of videos is I'll go into how to make the bag itself. It's a crochet hook, worsted weight yarn, and a pair of scissors. Crochet hook I'm using is a Prim 5.5 millimeter, and I'm using Red Heart worsted weight yarn. Start off with a magic circle. Wrap the yarn around your hand twice, insert the hook underneath the first part, and grab the yarn with your hook, and as you pull it up, twist it. So now you have this loop on your hook, and go under the working yarn there and pull it through that loop on your hook, and then pull tight to secure that knot a little better. And there you have your circle. I like to, when I start double crocheting into a magic circle, I like to chain one, which doesn't count as a stitch, then yarn over, and you're going to do 16 double crochets into the magic circle. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and there's your first double crochet. And you'll do this 15 more times. So 16 total double crochets into the magic circle. There's 2. I'll just go ahead and continue doing this, and I'll meet you when we get to the last double crochet, and I'll show you how we close up the circle. So I've done 16 double crochets, and now to close the circle, find the yarn end, pull tight, and you'll see that the middle part starts cinching closed. So just pull that tight till you don't have a gap in the middle anymore, and slip stitch to the very first double crochet. Now let's count our double crochets, make sure we have 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So here's your first double crochet, and that's where you're going to slip stitch into, is right here. Go ahead and pull your yarn through into a slip stitch, yarn over and pull through to fasten off, and then you'll cut your yarn like so. Now go ahead and grab your second color yarn, which is the mustard yellow. The yarn I'm using is impeccable yarn, loops and threads, in the color of gold. Make a slip knot, insert the hook, pull tight. Now insert your hook into that last stitch you did, the slip knot or slip stitch, pull through and slip stitch into it, chain 1. And what I like to do is tie the 2 ends together just to more fully secure my yarn ends. You can also just choose not to do this and weave in your ends if you like. I like to crochet over my ends, but I like to tie it off first to ensure it's really secure. So then you're going to do a puff stitch into each stitch around, and I'll show you how that works. So with the puff stitch, yarn over, insert your hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, now have 3 loops in your hook, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, now you should have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over one last time, insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull through. Now you should have 7 total loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yarn over and pull through all 7 loops on the hook. Chain 1 to secure a puff stitch. Let's do it again. Yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull through. You should have 7 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 7 loops, and secure it with a chain 1. You'll continue doing the puff stitch into every single stitch around, so you'll have a total of 16 puff stitches. And I'll meet you when we get to the last stitch here. Once you've completed your last puff stitch, go around and count to make sure you have 16 puffs. Once you've done that, slip stitch to the very first stitch that you started with, yarn over, pull through, and fasten off. This should be what you have so far. Next, grab your bright yellow yarn. I'm using a Red Heart Super Saver in yellow. Go ahead and make your slip knot. So here's chain 1 space. You can see the puffs. In between the puffs is your chain 1s that you did. So go ahead and insert your hook into your chain 1 space, pull through and slip stitch into that loop on your hook. Chain 1, which doesn't count as anything. Go ahead and tie your 2 yarn ends together to secure it, and crochet over your yarn ends as you go along. We're going to do cluster stitches in each of the chain 1 spaces. So yarn over, your hook into that chain 1 space, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So now you have 2 loops left. Yarn over, go into that same stitch again in that chain 1 space, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops on your hook. So now you have 3 total loops on your hook. Again, yarn over, Put your hook into that chain 1 space, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops on your hook. You now have 4. And do this one more time so that you have a total of 5 loops on your hook. So yarn over, put your hook into that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. You should now have 5 total loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. And there's your first cluster. Then we will do a chain 2. 1, 2. And you'll do the same process again. So you're going to do a cluster into each chain 1 space for a total of 16 clusters. I'll show you how to do the cluster one more time. Yarn over first, put your hook into that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook. You should have 2 loops remaining on your hook. Yarn over, put your hook into that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, and you now have 3 loops remaining on your hook. Yarn over, go through that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, and you have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, and you now have 5 loops on your hook. And that's when you go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. And there's your second cluster, chain 2. So continue along with your clusters and chain 2s until you get to your last stitch, and you should have a total of 16 clusters when you get to the end. Completed 16 total clusters. Find your first cluster, slip stitch into that stitch, over and pull through the loop on your hook, and fasten off. And you can go ahead and put your bright yellow yarn to the side. You should have something that looks like this so far. Next, grab your green color. I'm actually using a neon green, and I love this yarn by Hobby Lobby. Go ahead and make your slip stitch. You place your hook inside one of those chain 2 spaces, slip stitch into that loop, chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch. So we're going to start working on making this circle into a square. And how do we crochet a square into a circle? So we're going to start by a corner, then we'll do the sides, and then we do a corner, side, corner, side, corner, side. So the first thing you'll do is a treble crochet. Now how do you do a treble crochet? You're going to yarn, put the yarn over your hook 2 times. So you should have these 2 wraps plus the loop on your hook. Insert your hook into the stitch, into the chain 2 space. Yarn over, pull through. You should now have 4 loops in your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops. Yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And that's your first treble. Again, yarn over twice. Put your hook into the chain 2 space. Yarn over and pull through. You have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through the second 2 loops. And then yarn over and pull the last 2 loops. Do it one more time. Yarn over twice, put your hook through the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over again, pull the last 2 loops. Next, we'll do a chain 3, and we're still working on the corner here, and we're going to do 3 more treble crochets into that same chain 2 space. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. You can do that 2 more times. So yarn over twice, put your hook through this chain 2 space, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. One more time, wrap the yarn around twice, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through your last 2 stitches. And there's your first corner. In the next chain 2 space, we will work 3 double crochets. So you yarn over, go through that next chain 2 space, yarn over, and do your double crochet. So do that 2 more times, yarn over, and then 1 more double crochet into that chain 2 space. Next is going to be 3 half double crochets into that next chain 2 space. So yarn over, go through the chain 2 space, yarn over. You should now have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook, and that's your half double crochet. So again, yarn over, go through the chain 2 space, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, go through the chain 2 space, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. And there's your 3 half double crochets. Into this next chain 2 space, we will do 3 more double crochets. So there's your first double crochet, second double crochet, and then your third double crochet. So far we have done a corner, double crochet cluster, 3 half double crochets and another 3 double crochets. So in this next chain 2 space is going to be another corner. And again, the corner is 3 treble crochets, chain 3 treble crochets. You'll continue doing that all the way around so that you have a total of 4 corners and 4 sides. And each side consists of 3 double crochets, 3 half double crochets, and 3 double crochets. Then you'll do corner, then your side into these next 3 spaces, corner, side into these next 3 spaces, corner, and another side into these last 3 spaces, and then you'll slip stitch to the end here. I'll meet you when we get to here. Find the first treble crochet that you created and slip stitch into it. Once you've slip stitched into that stitch, we're going to go around and do another round of double crochet plus your corner spaces. At this point, you could choose to switch colors, or if you want to do it like what I have here, is I'm going to continue with another row of the green before I switch colors to the gold. So to make your granny square larger, I'm going to do what's called the solid granny square. And it is basically double crochet all the way around. In your corner spaces is 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch, and do a double crochet into that same stitch you did your chain 1 into, and then do double crochet all the way till you get to the corner. When you get to the corner, do 2 double crochets. There's 1 and 2, and chain 2, and do 2 more double crochets. So you continue along doing a double crochet into each stitch around until you get to the corner where you'll do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets for each of the corners. Where you have the 2 double crochets, chain 2 in a corner, double crochets around every single stitch. Continue that around, and when you get to where you started, you'll slip stitch there. Once you've gotten to your last double crochet, slip stitch into the very first double crochet that you started with and fasten off. Unless you want to continue with the green color, then you would go ahead and do one more round with your green color. I'm going to go ahead and fasten off and add the gold color again. So to get started, make a slip knot, insert your hook, and place it into that last double crochet that you made. And then again, you'll start off with a chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch, and then a double crochet. And you'll do the exact same thing we just did in the last round, where you do a double crochet into each stitch around. Your corner space is 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Slip stitch into the first stitch that you started with and fasten off. You'll need to do this a total of 4 times. You'll need to do this again 3 more times for a total of 4 granny squares. You could also do this 2 more times, so you have a total of 3 granny squares to make the purse that has just the 3 sides and the open top. Go ahead and make your next 3 granny squares and go to part 2 so you can learn how I seam the 3 parts together to create the purse.